Smitty, first you tell me stay away from James Cook. Then you tell me stay away from Christian McCaffrey, which we've already had this conversation before, but we need to talk about this man, Isaac Gurendo, how he can win you a league. But now you're telling me, Smitty, I can't go near Kenneth Walker? Cuff him if you do. I love Kenneth Walker. You guys know that, but I'm mainly here today to tell you, standalone Guerendo, standalone Zach Charbonnet. These two gentlemen win leagues, and you can either be on board or not on board. I can't control everything, but what I can control is the Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Kicking things off with Zach Charbonnet. For those that don't know, together this duo was a top 5 running back if you include all of their games that they individually started. All the green ones are the Charbonnet games. The rest of them, the majority of them, are Walker's games. So combined, they were running back 5. But the interesting part about this data is if we separate the two a little bit, you can see, Charbonnet's green highlighted games. Those 5 games alone, if you extrapolate that data, it's not the biggest sample to pull from 5 games, but it's significant. It's over a month of football. If you extrapolate and spread those games out across 17, Charbonnet is running back number 2 in all of fantasy football. It's crazy how effective Zach Charbonnet was. 38 fantasy points, a lot of that came in 1 week, but he did have the 25.7. It's 5 games. You can look at it however you want. I don't understand the doubt. The doubt is ridiculous. We're talking about a man that had 569 yards. The 4.2 a pop isn't ultra impressive, but there are a lot of problems over in Seattle. The line, everything was in shambles, really. 8 touchdowns with 5 starts, essentially. 42 receptions, 340. That's a monster receiving number. Imagine if he was getting 16 starts in Seattle in 2025. The guy would have 500 plus receiving yards and maybe 60 receptions or more. 1 receiving TD would be 2 or 3. Charbonnet's not guaranteed anything. He really isn't. And he's the backup right now. He's the most important backup. And I haven't readjusted this board, by the way. I got to redo a show on this entirely because Bucky and Tucker is rising up somewhere in this 4 or 5 territory. There's so many handcuffs, and this board is about the handcuff, not the starter. Otherwise, Bijan would be number 1 on the board with Algier. It's about Algier. It's about Sharps. It's about Blue. It's about Guerendo and Jordan James. It's about Tootin and Bigsby and Benson and Ray Davis, the monster that he is. But you look at this board, and no matter what, when I'm done organizing it, reorganizing it, Sharps is probably still going to be number 1 on the list. He's the best handcuff in fantasy football because standalone, he can win you a league. He's the best cuff in fantasy football because he protects your Kenneth Walker value and gives you almost a guaranteed top 10 running back. As I just showed you, the combined combo of the 2 players in 2025 was a whopping and impressive running back number 5. And while I love Walker, and I do love Walker, he's injury prone. But look what even he did. This offense, even though it's going to be different, it's a new staff, it's going to be a new system. It is a new system. It's still a system that will rely heavily upon the RB. The question, though, is will this regime be loyal to Walker to no end? Will they have a short leash on him? Walker's currently dealing with injury right now, and he just can't stay healthy. Is Charbonnet maybe a dark horse to take over the job and not let it go? The cuff board, the most important thing about the cuff board, or when we're talking about sleepers breaking out and becoming league winners, is what one of these players, if the starter went down with injury and even came back, might not let go of the job once they get it. Davis is one of them. Of course he could not let go of the job. Jordan Mason, if he gets the job, he's not letting go of it. Benson, if he gets the job, probably will not let go of it because Connor's older. Guerendo, you could say this is one scenario where it's different, but if he ended up being as amazing as we think he can be, and McCaffrey can't take a full load anymore, then Guerendo might take over a lot more than people think, even when McCaffrey came back from, let's say, an injury. Bigsby Tootin could overtake ETN, and Blue could overtake Javante. All these players that are cracking the top 7, 10, 9 top handcuffs in the league, according to me and according to this board. And again, I need to reorganize it fully. It's not completely where I want it to be. Sharps is probably the one player that could absolutely rip the starting job away and not give it back even upon Walker's return. That's what you have to look at when you're talking about these win-a-league handcuff players that have this standalone value. I'm drafting Walker and Charbonnet together, not a ton, but enough. You know, I have my shares, but I'm drafting Charbonnet probably in 80 or 90% of all my leagues, standalone. Because he can win a league, because he can be one of the most electric players in the National Football League, because he's proven. He's already given us a sample of games that is elite and electric, that is number 2, just a point away from being the number 1 running back in the league. I'm not saying he's the number 1 running back. Understand what I'm saying. Pump the brakes on running with that, with what I just said, but I'm trying to emphasize that in a small sample of games, 5 games that we got last year, mixed with the scouting that your boy did on this kid. I love Charbonnet. I was leveled when Charbonnet was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks on draft day back in his rookie draft because I wanted him to go somewhere to be a starter. I believed in Charbonnet. I was talking up Charbonnet like crazy. This is a player I've loved for years, so this is not some, oh, if he got the job, the opportunity would serve him. He is a remarkable player. Don't draft in general. I have Walker shares, but I only have Walker shares in best ball, where I'm not making the decision from week to week. Like, let's say Walker goes down in week 4 and I've already got him in my lineup in a non-best ball. That's horrible. You don't know when to switch him out. And what if they do start like rotating a little bit and then one takes over, like I said, mid-game, even if it's not due to injury? You can't make those decisions because you have to set your lineup before the week begins. But in best ball, especially on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Use code Smitty. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. So use the link in the description of the video. Code Smitty gets it done as well. But I like drafting. I like drafting Walker and Sharps together in best ball, where optimal scoring will decide which one to start for me each week. I can't get it wrong. I do not draft Walker and Charbonnet in non-best ball. I draft only Charbonnet. And across best ball and non-best ball, I'm drafting Charbonnet in almost every single league. League winner. Grab him. In general, a very cautionary, avoid Walker unless it's best ball or he falls into your lap in a late value territory and you're able to cuff him, then I'm okay with it. I'm going to be fine with it, but Walker does concern me. He can't stay healthy. He's so talented. I love Walker. I hope he gets traded, and I don't think he will, but I hope he gets traded midseason, goes to an environment where they can use him and we can have 2 starters that we love. But at the end of the day, I just can't get behind spending the draft capital on Walker that he currently requires. And on Underdog, promo code Smitty, as I just told you about, if I go to the running back ranking ADP data and pull it up, I'm seeing players around Walker that I just like a lot better. Walker's going at 54 overall. Harvey's below him. Love Harvey. I smash that ADP all day. Joe Burrow goes 62 overall in a best ball. In a non-best ball, he'll go earlier, so I'd say they're pretty lined up. I would take Joe Burrow over Walker every time. Travis Hunter goes 52. I'd rather have Travis Hunter than Walker. Just a couple names of players that I think that what it comes down to for me is not just about avoiding Walker, it's just liking other players better and then drafting Charbonnet in every draft I can. Standalone smash. And on that note, we might have some breaking Charbonnet news.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk.
Warning, what you're about to see might be a little bit scary. You might want to turn away if you're squeamish, but this footage has been sent to us from a local Phoenix resident. Local authorities are trying to figure out what the sign means. It reads Sharb Season. Unclear as to what that is trying to reference or if that's some sort of warning. And it's still undetermined where these flying objects are deriving from. And before we get on over to Guerendo, let me just preface one more time. I love Kenneth Walker, always have. I just can't get behind the ADP with Hunter, with Burrow, with Harvey, even Henderson, Hampton, all kind of available, readily available at Walker's ADP. Give me Sharps. Give me those players over Walker. If all those players are gone, then maybe we revisit the topic. He's not a total avoid. He's just an avoid in those scenarios. So all those players start rising in ADP. Let's open up this can of worms and rehash it out because I don't hate Walker. You know I love him. I just want him to stay healthy, and he can't do it. And now on to Isaac Guerendo. who is such a home run smash, I've got a little video to play for you.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah, we have to. Let's go. Start the procedure.
Yeah, John, look at that. Yeah, that looks great, Kyle. Look at him.
Gurendonites unite!
Guerendo has tons of standalone appeal for a lot of reasons, but I don't understand the McCaffrey value. He's climbing to 7.9, ahead of Genty, right below Jahmyr Gibbs. Is crazy. I know the ADP is influencing people, but the crazy part is Christian McCaffrey has bilateral chronic Achilles tendonitis. Chronic being the key word. Chronic means it's not going away. In the usage that he's endured over the years, no player has been a higher percentage of his team's offense from year to year, from Carolina over on to San Francisco. The injury is due to over usage, and it's not something you can undo. Yeah, he went overseas, had some procedures done. I get the appeal of, technology's advanced so much, man. He'll be okay. The guy came back and suffered a knee injury. He's constantly dealing with injuries. It's not just about the Achilles tendons or the calf injury. And the calf injury was a cry for help from his Achilles tendon. Just like when Aaron Rodgers wore a sleeve and he had the calf injury, then he tore the Achilles tendon. The calf injury, a lot of the time, is telling you it's a red flag. It's a warning sign. It's a sounding of the alarm of your body saying, we've got an Achilles problem. And with your Achilles, it's like an army rope. There are thousands of strands, and one or two breaking won't mess with the integrity of the rope. But McCaffrey's Achilles tendon, both of them have suffered so much over the course of his career. There's no repairing it. There's only trying to keep the flare-ups at bay, which apparently is happening right now under controlled conditions. When he's out there cutting and getting hit, he's not out there getting hit right now. He doesn't have 300-pound linemen, multiple, jumping onto his back as he's trying to get 2, 3, 4 extra yards. And the randomness of firing off that Achilles and flexing it and turning and cutting your ankle, it's crazy when you think about how much the Achilles tendon takes on in terms of pressure and stress when you're cutting or absorbing a hit or trying to carry 300-pound linemen on your back, all of which the Niners are not going to test in practice settings, all of which the Niners are not going to practice on any level during the entirety of the preseason or offseason. They're going to allow him to figure it out on the fly on the field. There is no way to know if Christian McCaffrey is fully healthy unless you throw him out there and let 300-pound linemen pile on top of him and try and drive him into the ground, or have him run through the A gap and get hit from the left and the right at the same time, and he's firing off the Achilles tendon and calf muscles with randomness. That is how you're going to test the Achilles tendon. I love that people see him cutting and they're like, he's fine. He's not fine. He'll never be fine again. He might be fine for a month. He might be fine for 2 games. He might be fine for 6 games. He might not. He might not even be ready for week 1 if something happens between now and week 1, just like it did last year. And the first sign of a calf injury, you mark my words, the Achilles is having issues. The first sign of calf injuries, I want you to think of me, because I'm warning you that calf injuries are probably on the way as alarm bells for the Achilles tendon. And just like brake pads on a car, you're wearing them down at essentially the same rate. Meniscus tears oftentimes keep a little imbalance of the body, so one might wear more than the other. Knee injuries are oftentimes making that imbalance happen. It causes a lot more problems in the body when you start cutting away at meniscus. But both of Christian McCaffrey's Achilles are in the same state, which means that you don't even know which one's going to be the one that flares up. And you could just say this, an argument could be made here. Smitty, I'll just cuff CMC and Guerendo. And you better do that. You have to do that. If you don't do that, you aren't paying attention to anything I'm saying. And yeah, that could be an approach that works. It's certainly possible. But wouldn't you rather have Bucky Irving and Guerendo? Wouldn't you rather have your cake and the person's cake over there and be able to eat both of them at the same time? Why do you want to go down the road of a running back that is not likely? There's not a high likelihood at all that Christian McCaffrey is going to have a 17-game season to the tune that we're wanting him to have at his cost of entry at 7 or 8 overall. Again, the ADP is ridiculous at 7.9. This is insane at 7.9. What are we doing as a community? I'm loving it because it's not me. It's pushing players down that I love. Genty's falling down. It's amazing. But what is the community as a whole doing? Even considering Christian McCaffrey at 7.9, let alone anywhere in round 1. I don't know, and I don't care, and I'm glad that it's happening, as you should be happy as well. But this is a ticking time bomb situation. And what do we know about Isaac Guerendo? Well, Guerendo was fantastic last year. Early on in the season, 10 for 99 yards on the ground. Against the Dallas Cowboys, 14 for 85 and a touchdown. 3 receptions for 17 yards. He catches the damn ball. 78 yards, 2 touchdowns, 50 receiving yards, 57 and 18 receiving yards. And then, of course, the 4 catches for 65 yards and the 34 on the ground here. But just a remarkable player. The 78 yards and 2 TDs was phenomenal. Such a monster, man. I love Guerendo, and the fact that he can go so late in a draft. I mean, he is absolutely almost free. Guerendo's ADP is 143 overall. That is by Rashad White. That's under Ray Davis. It's under Tootin, under Tajay Spears. It's above like Roshan and Braylon Allen, Enrico Dowdle, Austin Eckler, Tyler Algier. I do love Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue's right below him. Trey Benson's right above him. I love Trey Benson. I love Ray Davis and Tootin. They're both right above him. But that's a great territory. It's right where those guys are going. These are home run hitters, 140 overall. That's crazy. That is league-winning material right there. And again, you can cuff Walker and Sharps and Christian McCaffrey and Guerendo, but at the end of the day, my conclusion is this. I want to have my cake, eat it too, and have my neighbor's cake and eat their cake too. I want to have Guerendo, and instead of Christian McCaffrey, I want Bucky Irving. I want Devon Achane and Guerendo instead of CMC and Guerendo. I want Charbonnet, and instead of Walker, give me Harvey. Give me Hunter. Give me Joe Burrow. Give me Breece Hall if he falls into that territory. I mean, it's possible. It's an easy call for me. League winner. Do it live. Do not forget that I have a live 24/7, 365 Patreon chat group. It's $10 a month. Cancel anytime. The link's in the description of the video. You can get there via patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. But the link is in the description. It's $10 a month. Price of a cup of coffee. Cancel anytime. Literally a place that I hang out and my followers hang out 24/7 live chat room. Hey, did you hear this news? Hey, should I make this trade? On game days, we're just packed into the game day lounge chat room and we're just talking about every play. Like, oh my God, you see that? And everybody's like, I didn't see it yet. What happened? And it's just like constant. It's amazing. And don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday. Oh, wait, hold on. Don't forget to get on over to my thefantasyfootballshow.com, my year-round rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, etc., etc. Thefantasyfootballshow.com. Link is in the description. And don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm additionally live whenever big news breaks, and I'm additionally live midnight Eastern almost every single night. See you all on the next one. Deuce.